Okay, picture this. You're working hard with your Scrum team, really focused on delivering value. Then, the message comes down from leadership. You must start using AI. Now, maybe you get the basic idea of the technology, perhaps you've even played around with some tools yourself. But the big question hits you right away. What specific, concrete actions can you actually take right now to help your team use this thing effectively, to really make it work for you? Because let's be honest, the real challenge isn't if AI will change how you work, it's how you're going to adapt, how you'll pivot, and how you'll actually leverage it. Welcome to a new deep dive from Implementing Scrum Unscripted by Michael Vizdos. Now, if you're new here, Michael Vizdos has spent nearly 2 decades as a certified Scrum trainer. He's worked with people in over 60 countries, really focusing on deprogramming old ways of thinking and helping teams embrace agile practices. He's the person behind ImplementingScrum.com. Maybe you've seen the chicken and pig cartoons. He also has a great weekly email newsletter, an interactive Scrum guide, and a whole YouTube playlist full of Scrum insights. Just to give you an idea of how long he's been thinking about this stuff. His own mentor, Scott Ambler, is now heavily focused on data integrity in AI. So Michael's been connected to this evolving tech landscape for quite a while. And please, as you're listening, if any questions pop into your head, ask Michael in the comments. He genuinely enjoys hearing from you. And yes, you guessed it, the voices you're hearing right now. We are AI generated. It's part of Michael's ongoing work testing and refining tools like Notebook LM. He's really careful about this, making sure every single resource we use in these deep dives is something he's either written himself or is thoroughly checked out and trusts. So, if there are any mistakes, they're on him, not us. And he does review every single deep dive before it goes out to you, our listener. Just in case we start making things up. Thankfully, it hasn't happened yet. Wahoo. But yeah, this process, using AI responsibly with careful human oversight, lets us have these detailed conversations based directly on Michael's trusted sources. We, your hosts, created this entire conversation using AI based on those sources. So today we're diving deep into a really specific, very timely question. It's something we hear a lot. Okay, I'm on a Scrum team. Leadership says we have to use AI now. What specific actions can I take to guide and coach my team so we can actually use this effectively to focus? #deliver.
That question, it really gets right to the heart of things for agile teams today, doesn't it? And what's really interesting, maybe even a bit surprising, is that the answer isn't really about the AI technology itself. Not fundamentally, it's actually about us, the people on the team.
Okay, let's get started then. As you're thinking about this challenge on your team, there's one key idea, sort of the main takeaway you should hold on to from our entire conversation today. It's this. The real question isn't just if AI will change your work. It's about how you and your team will actively choose to adapt. It's about deliberately reskilling to use AI's strengths, sure, but also about doubling down on what makes you uniquely human. It really boils down to defining and strengthening that essential connecting glue, that human element, in your work as AI becomes more common.
So let's unpack that. The first big idea comes from looking at AI's actual impact.
Right. Where does it really change things?
Well, a key insight, especially from research like the AI's impact on occupations, a co-pilot study for humans, is that AI isn't primarily about replacing people outright. It's more about fundamentally changing the tasks we do. Think of AI less like a replacement and more like a very powerful co-pilot.
A co-pilot. I like that framing. So it helps, but doesn't take the wheel entirely.
Exactly. It means tasks within all the Scrum accountabilities. Things like brainstorming ideas, managing the product backlog, figuring out helpful changes and retrospectives, even defining what done means for an increment. All these activities will shift. It's not a question of if they'll change, but how they'll change. AI might automate parts, provide data, suggest options, but the human element remains crucial.
Okay, so if it's shifting tasks is not eliminating roles, the focus shouldn't be on fear, right? It should be on adapting.
Precisely. It's about proactive adaptation and figuring out what new skills are needed. Reskilling becomes key.
Which brings us back to that idea of doubling down on your uniquely human value. What does that actually look like for someone on a Scrum team? What are those skills AI can't replicate?
That's the critical question. Doubling down means strengthening that connecting glue we mentioned. It's the human element AI just can't mimic. We're talking about skills like deep critical thinking and not just evaluating AI output, but questioning its underlying assumptions, spotting potential bias, understanding the context AI misses. It's also about complex problem solving, especially in what the Scrum Guide calls complex product development, where you've got uncertainty and requirements in technology. Human intuition is irreplaceable there.
And beyond just thinking skills.
Absolutely. Emotional intelligence is huge. AI can process text, sure, but it can't truly empathize with the user's frustration or mediate a conflict within the team or understand the subtle group dynamics needed for real collaboration. Creative collaboration isn't just generating options, it's that spark that happens when different human perspectives bounce off each other, challenge each other, build something new together.
Nuanced communication, too, I imagine. Understanding the unspoken things.
Exactly. Reading the room, understanding cultural context, the emotional tone, all vital for stakeholder conversations and team cohesion. So as AI takes on more routine or data-heavy tasks, the human role shifts upwards. It becomes more strategic, more about oversight, defining the why, fostering the human interactions, the trust, the purpose that make a Scrum team truly effective. Often the biggest value isn't in the raw data AI gives you, but in the conversations you have about that data.
That makes sense. The human skills become even more valuable. So if AI changes what we do, how does Scrum itself help us navigate how we do it? Does the framework provide tools for this adaptation?
It absolutely does. Scrum's empirical foundation is actually your best engine for adapting to AI.
You mean transparency, inspection, and adaptation?
Those exact three pillars. They aren't just buzzwords. They are incredibly practical tools, especially when dealing with something new and complex like AI. AI introduces unknowns, right? These pillars give you the framework to navigate that uncertainty effectively instead of just, well, flying blind.
Okay, so let's break that down. Transparency in the context of AI. What does that mean practically?
It means being really clear-eyed about what the AI can actually do, what its outputs look like, and crucially, what its limitations are for your team and your context. No hidden assumptions. If you're using an AI code generator, are you transparent about its typical error rate? Do you know its training data biases? If you aren't transparent about AI's role and performance, you create a false sense of security. That can lead to bigger problems down the line. It's about making that AI black box as visible as possible.
So shine a light on it. Then inspection, how does that apply?
Inspection means regularly, rigorously looking at AI's actual contribution. Is it helping? Is it hindering? How is it impacting the increment? It's not just assuming it's working, it's actively checking. For instance, in a sprint review, you don't just look at the product feature, you inspect how the AI tool contributed to it. Did it actually help? Did it introduce problems?
Maybe even looking at AI outputs in the daily Scrum.
Potentially, yes. Quickly inspecting AI-generated code or test results against your standards. But this kind of honest inspection only happens if there's psychological safety. People need to feel safe raising concerns.
Right. Without trust, inspection doesn't really work, which leads to adaptation.
Exactly. Adaptation is the willingness to change based on what you learn through inspection. If something feels off about how AI is being used, maybe it's creating more rework or not saving time like you thought adaptation means making a change, you might adjust your definition of done for AI-assisted tasks. You might add a human review step. You might even ditch the tool for that task and try something else next sprint. It's about preventing that AI-related technical debt from piling up.
So the pillars provide the mechanism. What about the Scrum values? You mentioned the human element. Do the values help reinforce that? Focus, openness, respect, commitment, courage. Michael calls it force, with extreme courage.
They are absolutely essential. The values really define that human element, that connecting glue. They create the environment where the empirical pillars can actually function.
How does courage fit in, especially with AI?
Well, it takes courage to experiment with AI, knowing you might not get it right the first time. Courage to share maybe out there ideas about how to use it. And critically, courage to give and receive honest feedback about whether an AI tool is actually effective. To admit when it's not working, or to challenge old ways of doing things if AI offers a better path.
And openness, being open to what AI suggests.
Yes, open to the outputs, but also open to different perspectives on AI within the team. Open to the uncertainty that comes with new tech. Are you willing to change course mid-sprint if AI reveals a crucial insight? That's openness.
Respect seems vital for that psychological safety you mentioned.
It's foundational. Respect for different comfort levels with AI, different learning speeds. Respect allows for constructive criticism without fear. Without respect, trust breaks down, and then transparency and inspection just can't happen effectively.
Commitment. Staying focused on the goals despite the new AI challenges.
Right. Commitment to the team's goals and commitment to continuously improving how you integrate AI, making sure it serves the mission.
And focus ties into avoiding distractions.
Definitely. It's easy to get distracted by the novelty, the shiny object aspect of AI. Focus means ensuring AI supports the sprint goal, not detracts from it, keeps everyone centered on delivering value.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. The pillars provide the how, and the values create the environment. So with that foundation, let's look at the specific accountabilities. How does this AI mandate shift things for the product owner?
The product owner's core job doesn't change. Maximize the value the team produces. But how they do that in an AI world, that evolves. AI becomes a tool to better understand and deliver that value.
They need authority, knowledge, availability, aka. Where does AI help most?
Primarily with the knowledge aspect. Think about market research, user feedback analysis, identifying patterns and customer pain points. AI can process vast amounts of data way faster than a human. It can help refine personas, understand user segments more deeply. This gives the PO a much richer, data-informed view of who they're building for and why. AI provides deeper insights for the PO to act on.
But the authority part remains human, saying no.
Absolutely critical. The PO still needs the authority and the courage to say no to AI-driven features that don't align with the real product goal or user needs. Strategy is the art of saying no, especially when AI offers endless possibilities. Discernment is key.
And availability. Does AI reduce the need for conversations?
Not at all. If anything, it makes those human conversations even more important. AI provides data, but the PO's availability for discussions with stakeholders, with the team, that's where true understanding and alignment on value happen. The biggest value is often in the conversations, not just the numbers.
Can you give a practical example? How might a PO use AI day to day?
Sure. A PO could use an AI tool to quickly analyze all the feedback from a sprint review, identify the key themes, and then use that to refine product backlog items. They could focus the team on that 20% of work likely to yield 80% of the value applying the Pareto Principle directly, or use AI to deeply understand a new customer segment before designing features for them.
Okay, that clarifies the PO role. Now, what about the developers? The people actually building the increment, not just coders, but everyone involved in getting work done. How does AI serve as their co-pilot?
For developers, AI can be a massive productivity booster. Again, it's about shifting tasks, freeing them up for higher level work.
So AI handles the routine stuff.
Exactly. Think about generating, even creating basic documentation. AI can assist with identifying potential technical debt or suggesting refactoring options. This task shifting lets developers focus their brainpower on complex architecture, creative problem solving, really thorny technical challenges, the stuff that requires human ingenuity.
You mentioned technical debt. Can AI actually help reduce it?
Yes, significantly. AI tools can perform sophisticated code analysis, suggest refactorings based on best practices, even predict potential issues before they become real problems. This helps the team continuously deliver a high-quality increment and actively reduce technical debt each sprint, contributing to a sustainable pace and a healthier product long-term.
And developers are a self-managing team. How does that relate to AI?
It's crucial. Self-managing means they decide how the work gets done. That includes deciding how to integrate and use AI tools to meet their sprint goal. They experiment, they inspect, they adapt their use of AI based on their own findings. They own how they leverage these tools.
So maybe a developer uses an AI co-pilot for drafting tests, freeing up time for complex logic.
Precisely. That allows them more time for the really challenging parts, or maybe for collaborating more closely with the PO to understand the user need better. It enhances their ability to deliver value sustainably.
All right, so POs use AI for insight, developers use it as a co-pilot. What about the Scrum Master? Their job is enabling team effectiveness and upholding Scrum. How does they facilitate AI adoption?
The Scrum Master is pivotal here, but not as the AI expert or the problem solver in chief. They're the facilitator, the coach, the impediment remover.
So, guiding conversations about AI.
Yes, leading effective discussions about AI's impact, its challenges, the benefits the team is seeing, especially during daily scrums to surface immediate blockers, and critically in sprint retrospectives for deeper inspection and adaptation around AI use. They ensure everyone's voice is heard, different perspectives are valued.
And removing impediments related to AI. What might those look like?
Could be anything. Lack of access to the right tools, unclear company guidelines on AI usage and data privacy, maybe team fear or resistance to the change. The Scrum Master identifies these blockers and works to get them resolved. Just like any other impediment, maybe liaising with other parts of the organization if needed.
And fostering psychological safety seems even more important with AI.
Absolutely essential. People need to feel safe experimenting, making mistakes because they will happen with new tech, and openly discussing what's working and what's not, without fear of blame. If someone feels they can't admit an AI tool caused a problem, the team can't learn or adapt. Safety is the foundation for empirical process control with AI.
Coaching the team through the change, too, like the Tuckman model.
Exactly. Introducing a significant new element like AI can push a team back into forming or storming phases as they figure out new norms and ways of working together with the AI. The Scrum Master coaches them through that, helping them self-organize and navigate the changes to become effective again. Maybe facilitating a retro focused just on one AI tool, agreeing on one small improvement to try next sprint. Continuous small steps.
That iterative approach seems key. Which brings us to how sprints themselves help with AI adoption. You mentioned treating them as experiments.
Yes, the time box nature of sprints is perfect for this. Instead of a huge, risky, big bang AI rollout, you treat each sprint as a small, safe-to-fail experiment. Try integrating one specific AI feature or using one tool for a particular task. See how it goes. Learn quickly. Adapt.
Fits that fail fast, fail forward idea. It's okay if the first attempt isn't perfect.
It's expected, especially with new technology. Trying to get AI integration perfect right from the start is unrealistic because that's when you know the least. Sprints allow you to learn through doing, inspect the results, and adapt intelligently. Embrace that initial imperfection.
And the sprint review is where you get that crucial feedback.
Yes, it's not just a demo. It's a vital feedback loop. Get real users and stakeholders interacting with the AI-enhanced features. Get their honest reactions. That feedback directly fuels the adaptation for the next sprints experiment. Did the AI content resonate? Did the AI-assisted feature solve the right problem? Learn and adjust.
So maybe a sprint goal is dedicated to trying out an AI content generator, and the review focuses on user feedback on that content.
Exactly. And if the feedback isn't great, the team adapts for the next sprint. Maybe they refine the prompts, maybe they try a different tool, maybe they add more human oversight.
Yeah.
It keeps the learning cycle tight and focused.
Okay, so sprints drive the iterative adoption. What about preparing the work? Product backlog, refinement, that ongoing activity. How does that change with AI in the mix?
It becomes even more critical. Refinement is where the whole team collaborates to break down big ideas into small, clear, ready pieces of work. With AI, you need dedicated refinement time to figure out how AI fits into those pieces. Which parts of a story can AI assist with? What are the acceptance criteria for AI output? How do AI insights shape the story itself?
So making the AI part explicit in the backlog item?
Precisely. It shouldn't be an afterthought. This ensures everyone understands the plan before sprint planning, avoiding surprises and confusion during the sprint itself.
Does the I-Invest principle for user stories help here?
Immensely. Making sure AI-related stories are independent, negotiable, valuable, estimable, small, and testable brings essential clarity and manageability.
Like, is the AI part valuable on its own? Can we estimate the effort? Is it small enough to get feedback within a sprint? Is the outcome testable?
Exactly. Applying Invest rigorously during refinement, especially for AI work, prevents the team from biting off more than they can chew or working on poorly defined tasks. It sets them up for success within the sprint.
Okay, so we're adapting iteratively, refining carefully. But how do we make sure we're focusing all this AI effort on what actually matters? How do we prioritize for real value?
That's where principles like the Pareto Principle, the 80-20 rule become incredibly powerful guides.
The idea that 80% of value comes from 20% of the effort.
Broadly, yes. In an AI context, the strategy is to use AI to handle as much of that 80% of lower value, more repetitive work as possible. Automate the routine stuff. Let AI handle the grunt work. This frees up the team's human energy, their creativity, their critical thinking, to double down on the crucial 20% of work that delivers the most significant impact, the highest value. It lets the team be stars by focusing on what truly moves the needle.
So a PO uses AI to find the top 20% of user needs, or developers use AI to automate 80% of boilerplate code, freeing them up for the complex 20%.
Exactly. And think about the implication for the backlog. Maybe 80% of it never needs to be delivered. If you're laser focused on the highest value items first, you go deep on the right things, delivering exceptional value there rather than spreading thin across everything.
That requires discipline, though, which brings us back to the human edge, right? Critical thinking, judgment, saying no.
Absolutely. AI provides data and options, but humans provide the insight, the wisdom, the critical judgment. The product owner's ability to say no to low-value AI features, even if they're technically possible, becomes a superpower.
Applying that human judgment to the AI's output, discerning need versus want.
Precisely. Understanding the why behind the data, the strategic context, that's the connecting glue, applying empathy, creativity, strategic thinking to what the AI surfaces. It's the difference between just having information and actually using it wisely.
You mentioned the Pomodoro technique focusing work. Can AI help with that focus?
It definitely can amplify it. If AI can handle routine distractions, summarizing emails, drafting initial reports, organizing data, it frees up your focused work blocks for deep human-centric thinking and problem-solving. You leverage AI to protect your most valuable cognitive time.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But ultimately, no matter how much AI helps, it comes down to delivery, doesn't it? Delivering done work.
That remains the absolute bedrock. A done increment, something usable, valuable, potentially shippable every single sprint. That's the ultimate proof point, the ultimate trust builder. AI should enable this, not obscure it.
Right. If you're consistently delivering tangible, working software, demonstrating how AI helped you get there faster or better, that's what builds trust with leadership and stakeholders.
Exactly. That's the lightning in a bottle. It's the concrete evidence that AI isn't just hype, but a tool that's genuinely accelerating value delivery. It's the ultimate measure of success for AI adoption in Scrum. The focus always comes back to the value delivered.
So in this world where AI is evolving so rapidly, it seems our biggest advantage isn't just knowing AI, but mastering our human ability to collaborate, think critically, and adapt within the rhythm of Scrum. How will you, listening now, keep cultivating that vital human connecting glue on your team? We have definitely covered a lot of ground today in this deep dive, looking at how your Scrum team can effectively use AI to focus. #deliver. We started by talking about that fundamental shift. It's not if AI changes things, but how you adapt your tasks and really lean into your unique human skills.
Right. Then we looked at how Scrum's own pillars, transparency, inspection, adaptation, give you that solid framework for navigating all the complexity AI brings. We talked about how product owners can use AI for better insights and smarter prioritization, how developers get a powerful co-pilot to boost productivity and tackle tech debt, and how Scrum Masters are key facilitators, removing impediments and ensuring safe experimentation.
We also covered how sprints are perfect for iterative AI adoption, learning fast, adapting faster, treating each cycle like an experiment. And we finished by stressing the importance of focusing on high-value work, maybe using ideas like the Pareto Principle, making sure human effort is amplified, not replaced, and always aiming for that done increment.
So just to bring it back to that one key takeaway from the beginning, your real success with AI won't come from just mastering the algorithms. It'll come from mastering your human capacity to adapt, to learn new skills, and to strengthen that vital human element, that connecting glue that delivers true value.
Okay, so here's your one actionable item from this deep dive, something concrete to try. In your very next sprint retrospective, bring up AI intentionally. Don't just ask vaguely if people are using it. Ask these two specific questions. 1, how exactly did AI change our tasks this past sprint? What worked well, what didn't? And 2, what specific human skills do we think we need to focus on or develop next sprint to leverage AI even better? If you found this deep dive helpful, please do give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel.
And definitely, if you have questions for Michael Vizdos about AI, Scrum, or anything we talked about today, or maybe you have your own one actionable takeaway you'd like to commit to, post them in the comments below. Michael really enjoys engaging and can even act as your accountability partner to help you follow through.
And of course, if you want to explore any of the resources or ideas we mentioned in more detail, check out the show notes for this deep dive. Everything's linked there. Thank you so much for listening to this deep dive from Implementing Scrum Unscripted. Focus. #deliver.